Let's just dive in and go. Greetings, friends. It's Josh.
And I'm Ryan.
This is Daniel.
Matt has been replaced by an AI replica of Matt.
Gosh dang it, not again.
Someone get that computer out of here. So we actually did it. We have the Quadrio of Dads here today. The queso of Dads.
Yeah, pass the queso.
Someone hand me some
Ryan,
queso.
It's real.
Quit hogging it, man.
It's like the
is-
quesarito combo.
It's real.
It's beautiful.
Of dads.
I can't express how excited I am that we finally got all four of us in a room together to record.
Way better than the double
It's-
rainbow. Better than the triple crown. It's the quadruple dads.
It's the
I'm
Quadrio
so
of
sorry.
fathers.
Quadrio dads.
Matt, you're dating yourself.
Well, yeah, that's what we are. We're dads.
We
can do
are
that.
dads, and we will
Listen,
date
I'm like
ourselves.
two weeks away from a midlife crisis. So.
I'm
It's
actually
time.
really excited
Are you
about
planning
that.
it?
That's the new thing. You got to plan it out. You got to be prepared for it.
My
So,
recommendation is definitely supercar for this go around. Generally ends up better.
yeah, gotta get mine on a nice one.
Yes, I think planning the midlife crisis is a good move. I think that's the way to go. I think that's what everyone should do from now on. I'm letting you know
Be
up
ready
front.
for it.
I'm letting you know up front.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm having my midlife crisis. I'm gonna go buy a Corvette.
For
Like,
everyone's attention. Just
all
letting
of
you
my
know.
money is gonna just disappear. I'm cashing out the 401k.
There you go.
It's gone.
Rachel's like, it's the 40th anniversary. It's our 40th year birthday. It's like a big one you want to celebrate. Like, no, I'm just going to have a midlife crisis. Don't worry about it. Let's not celebrate it. Let's just, just don't say anything when I buy a Corvette.
That is coming up soon, isn't
It's
it?
coming up soon.
Oh, good gracious. Okay.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it is. Getting older is wild. So, anyway, this is the podcast for gamers who don't have time to game.
Or to get together. At the
Or
same
to,
time.
or to get together at the same time. That's right. We are here as the Dead Tired Dads podcast to provide you with the service of giving you news that we find interesting and also giving you some reviews on games. So this is our news episode. Before we get into that, though, we usually have a story or something like that we share. So I've got something that happened as a father over the last little bit. I had to take my son to the doctor recently, and he was perfect. Just an absolute...
Not the way I thought that was going to go.
No,
That is
it was
not
great.
not at
how
all.
It was absolutely perfect. He did everything. He was so well behaved. He was so good.
Nice.
And we got in there. Doctor looked at him, said he just had he had a weird cough, and it sounded really, really bad. But the doctor said, it's just going around. Like, okay. But it is time for his annual checkup, and we've got shots to give him. Okay, I guess we can do that. So my son does, again, he's just doing everything exactly what we tell him to do.
Everything was going perfectly.
Everything's going
Oh,
perfectly.
There's the other
Oh,
shoe.
no.
Here it comes.
And we get him up on the table. The nurse is there, and she's like, "You need to lay him back." And he lays down, and he's looking at me, and you
Everything
can
is
see,
wonderful. The world is great.
you can
I
see
love
the
life.
trust in his eyes. You just see it, and it's
What
so
fun game
it's
is this,
so
Daddy?
sweet and innocent.
What are
And
they
then
doing, Papa?
and then she stabs him with the needle, and he goes, "Ow!" And you just see it happen on his face, and I felt so terrible, and it was so bad, and now he's terrified of the doctor.
Yep.
And it's so hard being a dad.
You know what's nice about that one? Not to make this a religious metaphor, but definitely giving overtones of Abraham and Isaac there.
Gosh. Yeesh. No, but it was so I felt awful because there was so much trust that he had, and it just got completely
Destroyed.
shattered.
So destroyed.
And
The twins totally did that same thing for their kindergarten thing.
oh man, it was brutal.
It's so
It was
brutal.
absolutely brutal.
Just not fair. I don't know if it was like you. I had to do it. I was like, Dad's the one that's doing all the painful things with the kids.
Yep.
So I always had to do the shots. I always had to do the teeth pulling and all the fun stuff that goes with it. So
See, most of the time I'm not. I'm usually at work,
Yeah.
and I can't get off to like go to the doctor to get the
Right.
shots. Like, so it's usually M that's going and doing all that. So
It's
yeah,
rough. It's
it
rough.
it was a very challenging situation, but it's been fun. I've had a lot of fun with him lately. He has kind of started to become more attached to me and less attached to his mom. Like, he's still way more attached to Emmy than to me, but like, it is starting to become a thing where he's like, I want to hang out with Dad.
Yeah,
I want
the
to do
best.
things with Dad.
Absolutely.
And that's been a lot of fun to have that shift kind of happen. And not something that I really expected. I don't know why, but it's just taken a while, it seems. So anyway, that's my tragic story of being a father, and just, it's so hard. It is so
really is.
hard.
We just did something very similar. My son was just at the dentist, and he had to get put to sleep, and so I was not expecting that. Same thing, like with the dentist, he would fight. At first, it was like great. He loved the dentist, no issues. But then we had to actually do general anesthesia, and I was terrified because I've never had that or experienced that. But he was fine. But afterwards, we just heard screaming like blood. This dentist office was quiet for like an hour and a half. This is nice. This is great. Little kids are out in the reception waiting. And so his blood-curdling scream from the office. And, of course, it's our son.
Pairing perfectly with the
20
elevator
minutes.
music. And
Exactly.
the background TV noise.
So we're just embarrassed. We're like, oh, yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
And then this morning, though, he woke up. He's like, yeah, I didn't even remember that. Didn't even bother him. He was like, yeah, it didn't hurt at all. He was great. So that was fun.
It's wild.
See, I wish I had a painful story. I just had a kids are gross week. Because kids are gross.
Fair.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, fair enough.
We had pink eye go through the whole house
Oh, jeez.
twice, and I was just like, I'm so mad at all of you right now. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Take your eye drops. Stop touching everything.
Don't touch anything.
Touch nothing.
Everything is off limits.
Man.
Well, so yeah, that'll. I guess we've got a lot of news. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
Ryan, do you have any stories related to anything, or are we moving on?
Let's move on.
We're
Let's
moving
go
on.
for
We're
it.
going to the news. So, first things first. This is just something that I found hilarious. Happy Gilmore 2 was announced recently.
Yes.
Yes.
What?
Coming out on Netflix this summer.
Amazing.
Happy Gilmore 2. And this relates to video games in this way. Let me just introduce you to this fact. This is not a game that any of us, I don't think, would ever play. But PGA Tour 2K25.
No.
I'll play it.
Ryan will play PGA Tour. Shooter McGavin is going to be in PGA
Now I'll
Tour
definitely play it.
2K25. Just so you know, he is a playable
awesome.
character
Amazing.
in the new PGA Tour. So
That is
I thought
awesome.
that was hilarious. So
I mean, based on the previous trajectory we saw for the Madden college games, I think we should just go ahead and make PGA Tour a dating sim.
Another dating sim.
we're getting cross genre
Yikes.
with all the dating sims. We had
Yikes.
Fire Emblem, Three Houses.
true. We did.
We've got Madden college, PGA Tour.
yeah,
on the hit
absolutely.
list.
Next dating sim right there.
Shooter McGavin,
Shooter
playable
McGavin.
character.
It's
Awesome.
amazing.
Awesome.
Absolutely amazing. So I just, we've come full circle, right? Like, that's just such a weird
So strange.
thing to put into a video game. I don't know why, but I thought it was amazing. So there's that. Then we talked last month about the big announcement from Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh, yeah.
And they did come out and announced that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 remaster are coming out, which I am super excited about. Because I never actually got to play those games I did not own those games like I owned Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I played that one religiously and just wore that cartridge out on my 64.
Was that which one was on the Dreamcast?
So Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, I think, would have been out on Dreamcast because
Okay. Gotcha.
Which is why I didn't play 3 or 4 much, because I did not have anything to play it on until after those games had already kind of been out for a while, and there were other Tony Hawk games that were out that I picked up instead when I did finally get those consoles. So GameCube would have had Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, 4, and then the next game after Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 would have been Tony Hawk's Underground, I believe.
Yeah.
And I picked up Tony Hawk's Underground because that was already out by the time I got my GameCube.
Gotcha.
So
I mean, that's an exciting. We've seen a trend recently of doing a lot of re-releases and remasters of games from that generation in particular. Because I mean, Nintendo did this with Crazy Taxi and what was it,
Jet Grind Radio.
Yeah. Honestly, well played nostalgia is gonna win every time.
Yes, indeed. So that's super exciting. We've covered that ad nauseum though, but we did want to confirm that. So next up, the thing that I thought was interesting, Microsoft is releasing the Indiana Jones game onto PlayStation.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. So I believe that this leads me into a new theory. Microsoft Game Pass is just a beta testing ground for their games at this point.
Interesting.
They're going to we've already discussed that Game Pass is basically around to be Microsoft's. They want it everywhere, right?
Yeah.
They want
Right.
they want Game Pass in everyone's hand, as many places as they can get it.
Yeah. They're pivoting from hardware back to software. Which
Correct.
Makes sense.
Or at least that's what it has seemed like. There's some more news about Microsoft that is puzzling in that regard. But the way that Game Pass is kind of played out, I think they're going to launch all of their major titles as day one titles there. See how they test, see how they do. If they do well enough, they'll get, okay, we're going to port this to PlayStation.
Yeah.
And
There's enough of demand enough. That way it saves them the trouble of if we make this for Sony, are people even going to buy it? Right?
Exactly.
Now they see what the demand is.
Exactly.
You're going to see that on, all the FOMO on the boards. Like, hey, I really want this on PS. When am I going to get this?
It's almost like they're
good.
creating their own little civil war, because then you
Yeah.
have like Microsoft and PlayStation fanboys arguing with each other about which is better, and then Microsoft's like, "Oh, here you go. You can play our game on your PlayStation now." So,
which is something that Sony isn't going to see. Sony is going to have their exclusive, so I'm going to have to buy a PlayStation 5 so I can play the Wolverine game. I'm going to have to buy a PlayStation 5 so I can play any of the other games that I want to play on there.
Spider-Man games.
Yeah.
What else? What else is Sony?
There is another one on there that I really wanted to play, and I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. So
I followed it
what
for a
is.
while, but now I don't even follow any consoles anymore. I've
Yeah.
gotten to that point where I'm back to PC master race. Everything's on PC, and
Well-
you poor console peasants who just have to catch up eventually.
But that's gonna work. That's gonna work out for you in your favor.
Yeah,
Like
Game Pass. That's what I
Yeah,
have now. I got
exactly.
to try them all. I got to. I got Avowed, a really fun game. Like I never would have ever thought to buy that, but it was on Game Pass, so why not? I'm gonna give it a shot and try it.
was that one any good?
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Maybe on a review episode.
Maybe
we'll see.
maybe later.
Yeah.
Okay. So that also leads to some more very interesting news from Microsoft. Word is there is a handheld Xbox console coming out this year, 2025.
What?
There is a handheld Xbox console that has been announced. Well, that hasn't been announced, but that's the rumor. And that there is a new Xbox console coming out by 2027.
Right after that.
So getting hardware into circulation. See,
Correct.
that's interesting because the Steam Deck success has birthed a lot of copycats, a lot of imitation. It's interesting to see a huge player step up to the plate for that because like there's a lot of garbage handheld computers out there,
Yeah.
like so many.
Yeah.
Wild. That's
I-
wild.
Well, and I think they are rumored to be working with Acer. I think is what I've
Asus.
seen.
They already
Asus.
and they have their
Asus.
own handheld gaming that's been doing pretty well competing with Steam Deck. So now you've got a hardware company that's already been doing this, and now they're working with Microsoft with money behind it.
Right.
Again, they're validating their strategy now, and
Yeah.
I think
already
it's almost like
That's
Steam,
smart.
right? Well, Steam
That's
Deck has this huge library of games from Steam, and now Xbox can back up the Asus too now.
And I think what Microsoft is actually going for is actually having a PC type console that just hooks up. It's an accessible PC gaming console.
I was talking to a buddy today about that. He was saying that some rumors about their next console was like it's almost an in between console and PC. Like they're moving it that way, but they're just slow stepping you that way.
Instead of putting $2,500 into a gaming computer, now it's something a little bit more affordable for anybody.
Right.
That's always made sense as a strategy for X. And like thinking back to like 2000, the early aughts, like some of the first serious console hackers, what they were doing, making an Xbox run like a computer.
Yeah.
That was like already a very seamless. I mean, there was a lot of work involved, but like that was in the periphery there. You couldn't do that with a Wii. I mean, people did, but like putting Linux on a Wii does not make it a computer in the same way that like an Xbox natively can be like a computer. So.
And it makes total sense. I mean, Microsoft's wheelhouse is computers. Like that's where they started.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
So why would they not make their gaming console? And what I had heard previously, and I think we may have talked about this on a previous news episode, but that Microsoft's next console, what they had talked about doing was just having it be more like they do their PCs. Like, here's the blueprints of what a Xbox should be, and Dell can make an Xbox. So here's the Dell Xbox.
Right.
Here's the Acer Xbox. And it's just out there. Anyone can make one.
It's like an open source console.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is very interesting.
Yeah, imagine you get to that point where you are the console at everyone's house because it's customizable, it's upgradable, which is what a computer is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then if you get a handheld version too that you can play your games on the go, now you're knocking out some of your competition.
Yes, except
can they pull it off?
Yeah, I don't know. And the thing is, it always goes back to me for stuff like this. If they go strictly to only digital games, which is what kills me about PC gaming, is that everything's digital. Everything's in the Steam library. If you get locked out of your Steam library, you're done.
Too bad, so sad.
Hey, I've still got some DVDs at home and some CDs of some of my favorite games. You can have those physical medias. You gotta look on eBay.
So, but for newer games, if I'm gonna play it, like I want to have the cartridge, I want to have the disc, and if Xbox is going to go away from that, to me, that's a detriment.
Fair enough. Josh is a verified Philips CDI fan. This is facts.
Well, excuse me, Josh.
So, this gets into another thing. You guys aren't going to believe this. You will never believe what I read on IGN recently.
Here we go.
It's not butter.
Can't believe it's not butter.
Oh, okay, it's not butter. You're right. Okay, I'm connecting with you now. I can't believe it's not butter. Got it.
We're on the same page. It's fine.
I'm with you, Matt. I'm with you.
So, I read on IGN an article stating that the console wars are over.
Sure they are.
Over.
Now, if you will recall, this was a topic that we covered about 6 months ago on this podcast.
I don't know if I'm flattered or offended that IGN tried to steal our scoop.
We are literally on the cutting edge.
Nailed it.
Of video game commentary.
The bleeding edge, folks.
We really, I mean, seriously, like, and that's not the only thing. Nintendo is rumored to be saying that the Switch 2 is coming out in June.
Yep.
It's deja vu. It's weird.
This is also something that I said on this very podcast like 2 months ago. So, I don't know.
Somebody get this man a coffee mug.
So you're saying we're prophets is what you're saying.
I don't think that we're getting the respect that we deserve.
To think that we're doing all this without any sponsorship. It's
no
just
sponsorships
our own
at all.
hard work.
But we're open to it.
But
Specifically GameFly.
If
GameFly, if you're still alive,
yes.
GameFly?
please sponsor
Yes.
us.
Actually, GameFly when we first started with just me and
remember
Ryan
that.
on the podcast,
They
remember
did.
that.
Yeah.
they were retweeting
They talked to me a little bit.
our
That's
post
right.
on Twitter. So shout out to GameFly
They did.
for being awesome.
Some of our first episodes, they
Yeah.
helped us.
Yeah, that was fun. That was good times.
That's really cool though, because like the pattern for the releases, we talk about this frequently. Microsoft's strategy in the marketplace, Sony not doing enough console specific stuff, focusing too much on I don't know, hardware performance probably is their biggest like tunnel vision moment. But Nintendo's out here doing stuff. Microsoft's out here doing stuff, and I think people are talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, I like to think we're special, but like this is the conversation that people need to be having.
It really is.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Because it's important. It's important to the hobby. It's important to like the way that we're learning how to play. Like, are we doing mostly digital? Are we doing subscription based services? Are we doing fun systems with cool peripherals? What's going on here?
Yes, indeed. Speaking of fun systems with cool peripherals, I don't know what this thing is, but Sony does have a weird peripheral thing that they have done that's like a stick. And it's like a 3D environment, and it's like a horror game or something. Like, I have no idea what it is, but I've seen it advertised several times. It's a weird thing.
Sticks can be scary.
It's just like this like tube thing that you hold, and it's like a pointing gun thing.
It's not a Wiimote.
No.
And it's not a sword.
No.
And it's a tube.
Yes, it's some sort of weird tube thing, and it is a all-inclusive thing. Like, it's not just console TV thing. Like, you have to have the tube, whatever it is. Whatever I've seen on it has been very vague to me, and I'm like, what is this? And it doesn't really explain it, and I haven't been curious enough to research it because it's Sony.
Right. Cool. Maybe one of those things that just disappears. You're like, what was it?
Confused buyers don't buy Sony.
Yeah.
Get your marketing straight.
I don't know what it is, but it looked interesting. It looked like a weird, like, immersive thing. Less without a headset though, but it was some horror game.
Interesting.
And then there was another horror game that I saw that was a PC that actually used your camera. It had to access your camera.
I was like the next thing I was going to talk about.
It has to access your camera, and you have to like hide.
It watches you while you play. It's like an AI, and it will talk to you and see what you're doing. And
Creepy.
Wild. I want to play. I was going to send that to you. He's like, we need to play this. So.
Yeah, sure, Matt. Sure.
Phasmophobia has a huge update. We haven't
touched Phasmophobia in a while. It's been years since we did that. We do need to play another
big updates.
We got some good clip. We'll have to record more of that this time, and get, because there was that one clip that's been uploaded that you guys can go check out that I highly recommend of me just freaking out.
So, cooperative gameplay at its finest.
It absolutely
highly recommend.
And also, speaking of cooperative gameplay, we're just moving right along here.
Boom, boom, boom.
New game from the makers of what's the one game that we played that one time, Matt?
I don't know. I think I mean
It Takes Two.
Going. Yes.
It Takes Two.
That's the only thing
Split
I've
Fiction.
asked. That's what I've asked for my birthday. It's just that one game. I want to
Split
play
Fiction.
it so bad.
It looks really cool.
I've seen nothing but amazing things.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
There are some parts of it that if I think are from that game that are a little out there and wild and weird and random and kind of disturbing. But Split Fiction sold 1 million copies in 48 hours.
That's huge.
Like, so whatever that game, like, it looks like a lot of fun, a really fun co-op game that...
And they did smart. I think they did it with It Takes Two as well, where if one person buys it, you can share it with the other people for free, which is how it should be.
Whoever you play with.
Nice.
And I think
That's
it actually...
a great gimmick.
So smart.
That is.
I think it has native split screen available too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think. Yeah. I could be wrong, but...
It Takes Two is amazing on its own. Just such a crazy idea.
We played that a little bit, and I've never played it enough to feel like I had gotten... I always wanted to review it on the podcast, and I never did because I never feel like... We played it one night and never got back to it.
Well, now we're gonna try this one, so be ready.
We gotta get it together. Maybe, just maybe, we'll do like a Twitch stream or something, and that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But that's that. I'm talking a lot. Does anyone else have any news?
Well, I mean, you mentioned the June launch or the rumored June launch of Switch 2.
We are days away from this, like from actually knowing. I can't wait for April 2nd.
So yeah, April 2nd, Nintendo. Well, it's being called a Nintendo Direct, but it's being called a Switch 2 Direct.
Switch 2 Direct.
It's going to be all about Switch 2.
Right. Where they're going to announce that Metroid Prime 4 is the launch title.
This is a rumor I read today, along with the June launch. There's allegedly in this thing on April 2nd, they're going to talk about their 3-phase plan for the Switch 2. Mm-hmm. And part of that is, along with the June launch, a Zelda launch,
No.
a Mario launch, and a Metroid launch title.
Never seen that before.
Oh my goodness.
That's the
Never
rumor.
done that with
That's
a
the
watch.
rumor, but
Right.
multiple articles about that today I read.
They're going to steal
Or
all
that
my
too.
money.
Or they want to start like all first
Yeah.
party stuff and then eventually transition.
So
Like-
that's phase
They do
one.
that a lot.
Smart.
That's phase one. Phase two, again, all rumors. Phase two is like a wave of third-party titles in like
Yeah.
October or November.
Right, which makes tons of sense.
And then a wave of holiday releases around Christmas time.
oh my
So,
goodness.
Again, all rumor. We'll find out.
April 2nd.
We'll find out in a few days.
Oh.
But that's the big rumor today.
I
So,
am so excited. Here's what I'm really hoping for. What would be amazing would be a Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remaster along with Metroid Prime 4.
See, now you're just getting greedy.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say.
You know, like, it would be great. It's going to be so great. I'm
But,
so
yeah.
excited. I'm so excited.
I almost sent that article to you today, but I was like, no, I hope he doesn't know this.
I haven't
So
had a
that I
chance to
can
look at anything
surprise
today.
him.
See his face when I
Oh
say it.
man, Mario and a new Mario and a new Zelda. Like,
As their like launch titles.
See, all of those first-party franchises have done so well on the Switch.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I like Tears of the Kingdom more. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that I can play Breath of the Wild with the twins, and it's like, I don't hate this. This game's 8 years old. I don't
Yeah.
hate it.
yeah,
I mean,
sure.
honestly, coming off of those two Zelda games, I'm just going to buy whatever Zelda game comes out next. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm just going to go buy it.
well, no, I
Zelda
mean,
tax collector. Yes.
Yes.
All
I'll take it.
in. All in.
I'll take it.
Found piece of paperwork. That's all it is. Just paperwork.
Pay homage to Hyrule. Then Japan starts selling Hyrule passports. Let's go, boys. We're going to New Zealand.
I will buy it.
oh
If
man,
it says Zelda on the front, I will
What
buy
if
it.
they do a CDI remaster?
Done. What are they waiting on? Let's go.
The Wand of Gameleon.
Sold. Pre-order. Full.
Switch 2.
I'm paying the whole
But it's
thing.
not remastered. It just plays
It's
on the
just-
Switch too.
It just plays on the Switch too. It's the same thing.
This is incredible.
That'd be awesome.
That is nightmare fuel, is what that is. That we as children would be scarred.
I mean, we were, so they get to be too. It's only fair.
It's good. It builds character.
That's it.
It builds character.
Yeah.
Some sort of character. It builds something.
Could you imagine telling your kids, like, guys, along with the Switch 2, there's a new Zelda game coming out, and then you sit them down, and that's what it is. You turn that on for them.
That would be the greatest. That'd be better than a
Dad, can we do
Rickroll.
homework instead.
It's
Please.
such a bait and switch. It's
Awful.
great.
It'd be way better than a Rickroll. Like, I think maybe what we should do is, tell our kids, hey, there's a new Zelda game coming out. We're going to play it. And just put on the YouTube Let's Play that we watched of Wand of
that.
Gameleon.
That was a work of art. To whoever made whomever made that, thank you for your service to humanity. Your suffering has earned you a place in the highest heavens.
Someone should have done. If they haven't, we need to do that. Like, tell your kids that it's going to be a new game, and then put them in front of like an old game and see if they can figure it out.
Yes, absolutely.
This
Here,
game just came out. You're going to love it. It's amazing.
give them a Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Everyone should own a Dreamcast.
Everyone should own a
Am
Dreamcast.
I just going to be the resident Dreamcast fanboy?
No, I think everyone should own a Dreamcast.
Yeah, you're among friends here. We all
Yeah.
love Dreamcast.
I don't even like the games on Dreamcast that much, but I just love the console.
Just the Dreamcast.
I just love the console.
Star Online, best game ever.
Absolutely. I mean, I have all kinds of Dreamcast stuff. Like
one of those.
That was the only time I played sports games.
Yeah,
you're welcome, Ryan.
Yes. One of those Phantasy Star Onlines, I think for the Sega Genesis, is on the Virtual Console.
It's like the old
Yeah.
Phantasy Star.
Type of game,
Yeah. Yes. And so I recently put a blog post up about Rock Band 4 and how I wished I had bought it and how I missed out on that game. And I said in that I thought the rhythm game genre was dead and that I don't think that anything's going to come out that's going to quite recapture that. But Guitar Hero has announced a new Guitar Hero game.
Really?
Really.
Interesting.
Very interesting, but it's going to suck. You
All
want to
right.
know?
Explain.
It's a mobile game.
No.
Oh, that's not a real game.
Everyone groans.
Yes.
Boo.
No. This was one of those
That's
things
not
that
real.
like they were like, "Oh, there's a new Guitar Hero coming out." But wait, it's on mobile.
Gotcha.
And so this to me is a
Talk
complete
about your bait and switch.
Yeah, this is a
Man.
complete waste of time and energy and effort. Like, what are you doing?
Just saying, hey
Stop.
fans, we hate you. Check this out.
Yeah.
But also pay us. We hate
You remember how much fun you had with our games? You will not with this one.
This is not that.
This is
This is not that.
This is not something you're gonna have fun doing. Just so you know.
But thanks for your 99 cents per download. We love you.
Which they absolutely will be charging per song.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to pay, and what are you gonna be able to do? Like, are you
you're
just
gonna touch-
tapping? Are
you're
you
gonna
just
tap your
tapping
phone
on this?
screen?
Like, is that
Oh, that's
really what it
lame.
is? It's,
I wonder, like,
you're
if
just
there's-
gonna
there's-
hold your phone like this, and
There's got to be like some reports out there of how many people actually started playing music with Rock Band. Like how many
oh, for sure,
were like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm actually going to pick up a real
non-zero
guitar,
amount,
a real,
which
yeah.
is significant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I
Those
think that's
games.
one of those weird games. Like you had to have been there, right? Like it was so cool. You played with all your friends.
Well, and that was what my blog post was about. So I mean, if you haven't checked that out, you should go. You can find that on the Facebook page. You can find the link to that, and go read that and about how I miss how much I miss the rhythm games and how I missed out on buying Rock Band 4 and regret it horribly.
Which is great. It's been part of a series. If you're following along, I think it's a total of 5 that are going to be coming out. So hang out on the website, subscribe to all the things. Josh is laying down the truth of his sorrows.
And just because we're on the topic of blog posts, I have to
Here we
address
go.
this.
Come on.
I have to address this. Ryan also
I can handle it.
Ryan has also recently had some blog posts come out that I have some major issues with that you all can also go read about games that haven't aged well.
Josh,
Yes, Ryan.
the truth is painful.
You're the cone of safety for this.
You are so wrong about so much. So first you come after Mario 64.
The truth hurts, Josh.
You're wrong about Mario 64. Mario 64 is still a great game. I can play that game. I love that game. You're wrong.
The twins play that game a lot.
My son plays that game a lot.
No.
He's 4 and he plays that game and he loves it. He loves playing Brick Mario.
No.
And the most recent one that you released that came out on Wednesday this past week, you said that Ocarina of Time has not aged well.
It has not aged well.
Ocarina of Time has not aged well, according to Ryan.
This is true.
You also say that the N64 controller is terrible.
It is terrible.
And you are absolutely
It is
wrong.
terrible.
You are so wrong.
It is bad.
It's awful.
It is a bad controller.
Oh my gosh.
But
It's
there's
awful.
options.
You guys
I
are
can hold it
It's
like
a bad controller,
It's
Josh.
not.
you know, like 6 different ways.
You know, like when you were young and you went to GameStop and you bought an off-brand controller and you're like, I hate this, but it's cheap. That's what an N64 controller feels like.
Oh my gosh.
It's not good, Josh.
It is one of the best control. It fits in my hands
Yeah.
so well. It feels great in my hands. It still feels great in my hands.
Next, you're going to tell me that the original Xbox controller was a good controller,
No,
too.
that controller sucked because it was too honking big.
See, what you're both missing is that peak controller technology happened and ended with the GameCube.
No.
No.
I
mean the
would take a
PlayStation?
GameCube controller over a 64
I
controller.
still think PlayStation has the best controller of all time.
I'd agree
Really?
with that.
Yeah, and it's continued. It stayed the same, and it works every time.
Stayed
It's
the
perfect.
same
It
for.
feels
I
right.
hate I hate
5
the PlayStation.
consoles now.
I'll be honest, I use the PlayStation controller for PC.
It's perfect.
I hate the
It's
PlayStation
perfect.
controller.
You could go buy an original PlayStation and the controller feels
great and works.
Yeah.
It still works.
So the fact that it's been consistent over a period of time is great.
Yeah.
But I don't like the way that the joysticks are both like right there. Like I can't do that and push buttons at the same time like I can with
that's a personal
with the
problem.
offset.
Josh, I am sorry to have offended you.
You're wrong. That's
but
all
the
there is to it.
truth
Also,
is
the 360
painful.
controllers also up there.
No, but
is.
here's the real
Both good,
matter.
both
If
good.
you want to get in on the beef, if you want the drama, get on the website. Check out these
That's right.
forums. We're having fun.
Yes, absolutely.
The
Comment
only
back,
way
let
to
us know
settle
what's your
this is for
favorite
people to chime in with their
That's it.
opinions.
Yes,
Actually, you know what? We
Start
should
a
put
poll.
we should put a poll up
Gotta get a
on
poll.
the
Okay.
website.
Yes.
Polls up.
Poll on the website.
Is Josh wrong?
Yeah, yes, there should only be one choice.
Yes. Yes and yes.
Yes or yes.
Oh man.
Is this rigged?
Look. I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but you even sent me an article. You sent us all an article that had
Yeah.
the N64
Okay,
controller
they
as the best
agreed.
controller ever.
Okay,
I
fine.
agree.
In the poll, we can say, is Josh and that one article wrong? Yes or yes.
This one random article. It says written by Josh.
Exactly.
And friends, this is why in the age of AI, it is actually important to check your sources.
Check your sources.
Josh is astroturfing the internet out there. We love him anyway.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Listen, I
gosh.
love the Nintendo 64.
Apparently not.
I will sing its praises, but it just so much about it has not aged well.
All right, wait. Remind me, how much did we talk about Superman 64?
I don't know that anyone talks about Superman 64.
Okay,
We all try to forget it.
we're talking shade about the Nintendo 64. We're not talking about one of the worst games ever made.
That's true.
That's true.
That if you want to talk about a game that did not age well,
Well, yeah, but it didn't start well either. You can't age poorly if you start poorly.
it came out of the factory and it was dead. That's the aging right there. It aged right out of the
It
factory.
aged
Come
poorly
on,
as
come
soon
on.
as they put it on the shelves. It aged poorly.
Dead on arrival. Man, I remember
Worse than E.T.
I remember playing that as like a 12-year-old, and I was just like, is it me? Am I wrong? Am I the problem here? And then I grew up and I realized, no.
No, I had a friend.
Me.
I had a friend who
Terrible.
bought that game and was like, I need to return this, and then, like he couldn't, like he couldn't return it because it was open.
The store closed down.
Wouldn't take it back. Oh man, and that was before the internet, really.
Mm-hmm.
And so it wasn't like there were like
You'd
lots
have-
of people
yeah.
that were like, "Hey, this game's
Don't
terrible.
buy
Don't
this."
buy it."
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Anyway, so all that to say, Ryan thinks I'm wrong. I think Ryan's wrong. I'm clearly the one who's right. That's okay. I still love Ryan. Ryan still loves me. We can disagree about things like this.
You just can't play certain console games together.
It's true. I mean, we can. We tried. We just failed miserably at it.
You can do it on the Switch and just have the professional, the pro controller. Now you're good.
Well, no, that's the problem with a lot of the. I think part
Oh,
of your
they
problem is
yeah.
that the way that you're playing it is with the Switch controller and not with a native 64 controller. Anyway, if I think the games still hold up if you're playing with an actual 64. That's just my opinion.
The
Joy-Cons aren't great.
Ocarina of Time and Mario 64 to me played the best on a Nintendo DS.
Okay.
Okay.
They played amazing on that. They looked better. I don't know if it was like they shrink it down, but it felt really good to play on that. I don't know if you guys had those.
So
I
no,
have-
that's a really interesting point that you're
Yeah.
raising, because I had the same experience from Super Nintendo to Game Boy Advance for a couple of ports. Like they're both 32-bit systems, but for whatever reason, the smaller screen.
Yeah,
and
there's something about it that just felt right.
You know, I'm gonna say yes to that. I'm gonna say that I've not experienced this, but I think you probably are onto something with the Nintendo DS being a better N64 experience.
Yeah.
That's very interesting because I got the DS late, very late, in fact. Like almost at the point where the Switch was coming out, and I think the Switch was out when I got my 3DS, and they were like, "Hey, we're discontinuing
can't
this."
get this anymore.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. But I picked up Majora's Mask, and Samus Returns on it. But I played through Majora's Mask a little bit, and it was fun. I wanted to get Ocarina of Time and Mario 64, but I did not. I was not able to get them.
I think it just moves. Again, when it came out, right, it was perfect. But now, as we're used to faster things with better processing power, like it just feels so slow and it looks so clunky, and it's so. But
sure,
time has changed. We've evolved with it.
So has anyone else?
3DS looks good.
Has anyone else played the 3D All-Star package that came out with the Mario games?
Mm-mm.
So Mario 64, I felt like played great on the Mario All-Stars for the Switch. Mario Sunshine, on the other hand, I just hated that game. But that's a different
weird game.
I hate that game.
A weird game.
I hate that game.
Mario Sunshine and Mario Galaxy are both weird, but I feel like Mario Galaxy did such a better job.
Yes.
Galaxy was good.
I love Galaxy.
Was fun.
I like Galaxy.
Sunshine was just like a fever dream.
I do not.
On right now?
I do not like Mario Sunshine.
In
does Mario have
fairness,
a water
this was
backpack?
also the console generation that had introduced us to Wind Waker, which had the most useless dead time
Thank you.
of every single Zelda game.
No one agrees with me on that. I can't stand. It's like I can't sail for 3 hours to find one piece of. I can't do it.
I don't want to.
I can't.
I
got to the very end of that game and never beat it because I have to sail for hours to find. Like, nope.
Some
done.
of the dungeons
I give
were
up.
fantastic.
I
Some of the control design was great. The visuals were gorgeous. Kill the ocean.
Yes.
Well, when they remastered that,
yeah, that was good. That was
on
better.
the Wii U, they cut down the sailing time tremendously. They made that go a lot faster. But I still feel like the game sucked.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Wind Waker fan.
I didn't like
and
the
I'm
controls on the Wii U. It didn't feel right. It felt
yeah.
weird.
I don't know. I don't know. I should go back and play that one maybe. It's been a while. I played through that one time. So maybe it just needs an update, but that's what's happening.
We're passing notes in class.
I
Continue.
see that.
Sorry, teacher. It wasn't me.
It's weird. It just says Josh is wrong.
It was supposed to be a secret ballot.
So weird.
N64 is awful. Weird.
I don't like Wind Waker. I'll go back and replay it though, just because I think that's one of those games that I've held a grudge against for a long time, because that one came out at a weird time because you had Majora's Mask, and then like you were expecting something more in that line, and then it came out with Wind Waker, and it just wasn't that. So.
Very different Zelda game, very different, but it was fun. It was different.
It did what Breath of the Wild did, but worse. Like it was different than what we were expecting.
Yeah,
and then it just
world,
wasn't as
less
good.
Linear and not fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked it. It was just the ocean. Just killed it.
Yeah. So
I don't want to get a boat again.
Anyway, anyone else? I feel like I'm talking a lot tonight. So
so this is interesting. We talked about the switch to direct or whatever they're calling it. There's a rumored thing that's happening, which is kind of weird because by the time people hear this episode, it will have already happened. But allegedly on Thursday, so yesterday, there is going to be or was a Nintendo Direct that's basically they're talking about the rest of what you can expect from the Switch. So they're going to talk about the next few games for that.
4 months.
Yeah. So again, that's it's kind of the timing of it is just
bad timing for us.
Perfectly bad in that we can't tell
talk
you what's
about
covered in it. But go check that out and see what they say.
So there's not much going on right now, so because they're all getting ready for a Switch 2. They're pushing this old game for the Wii U. I played it. What's it called? it's basically Gundam, but you're like you pilot.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh yeah, Xenoblade.
I remember I had that on
Yeah.
Wii U, and it was neat, but it got kind of boring too because it was just a huge grind that took forever. But there are people who are just like obsessed with it, and now I see that all over my feed.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot. Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot.
I was not familiar with that series, and then way back when we had Barry as our guest, he mentioned it in his top 5.
Yes.
And so I have the first and second one on Switch, but I haven't had a chance to play it.
Like Xenoblade Chronicles, which is a completely different thing. I think it's in the same universe, but a different style of game, maybe. Like
I don't know.
I'm not sure what this.
Xenogears, I don't know if that
Xenoblade X.
Yeah, Xenoblade X. Whatever.
Yeah, that's the one. I had that on Wii U, which was one of the only interesting games it had on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Well,
it doesn't say much, but
I think that so many of the games on the Wii U were just underrated, and that's why they ended up ported to the Switch, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Like this didn't get the chance it needed to
because the Wii U was just so undervalued. And another blog post that I talked about recently. So,
but you're right. Every other thing that I see is like I'm seeing a ton of.
There's a lot of Xenoblade.
It's a big push. So hopefully there's something else at the end of it.
So
maybe the Mario Kart will be on Switch and Switch 2.
I don't know. That would be an interesting one for them to split that one. That seems like a Switch 2 that they would want to have that one as a Switch 2 exclusive. But I don't know.
I'd see them bundle it. Like I hate when back in the day when you bought a console, you got a game.
You got a game with it.
Yeah.
So maybe really push people to get that console, the new console.
Yeah.
So you get the game with it too.
Yeah. And I don't know. They will probably have some kind of.
I predicted it here. I'm predicting it.
Mario Kart.
I mean, we had 2 great hits with predictions. Let's throw some more out.
Yeah, this is
at least 2. I feel like there was another one that I saw something. I can't remember what it was now, but there was something else that I saw that I was like, we literally talked about that. We literally talked about that.
Was it Nintendo winning the appliance wars? Because I saw that alarm clock. I want my toaster.
Well, so speaking of the alarm clock, there is a pizza maker that looks like Master Chief's head.
Nice.
That it feels like that.
Like nobody can win the console war, so they're switching.
They're switching. Yeah, it's the appliance wars.
I mean, I feel like Sony's got an edge there.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You think so?
They might.
Sony has actually won the appliance wars. They have the leg up. Nintendo and Microsoft are way behind. They're coming in. Nintendo and Microsoft are coming in at the end of the life there. Oh no.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Once Microsoft puts Copilot into your washing machine, maybe that's the.
Speaking of Copilot, though, Matt introduced himself as our AI, but Copilot is actually being introduced to the Microsoft app and to eventually the Xbox. They are talking about adding Copilot in so that you will have an AI on your console.
Wait, catch me up to speed here, because I know we had Cortana on Windows.
Cortana is dead.
Well, I know. I'm still in mourning. I'm still in denial. Let me have this. Those many years. Was she on Xbox too? Because she's a Halo character, right?
I mean, not as anything other than a Halo character.
Yeah.
I mean, she was in the Halo games. But
I mean, I feel like that was so much more of an appropriate, virtual assistant for a video game than it ever was for a computer, and they're not going to do that.
Well, I think that the reason for that, I think they want to distance themselves from
they pulled the
Halo
too early on that. No,
they want to distance themselves from Halo being their staple thing, because it's no longer their staple thing. Which is tragic, honestly, but it's just not. Like, Halo is not Microsoft's bread and butter, because Game Pass is everything. Is
fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
So. But yeah, Copilot is going to be rolled out within the mobile app, and I don't know exactly what that's going to be doing, but AI is coming to your gaming console to make recommendations for you.
AI is coming. Skynet is active.
So, but that's all I got. That was the last thing that I had, was that AI was going to be taking over your Xbox sooner than later. And then you'll have it on your Xbox Steam Deck, and it'll be tracking you and monitoring every game that you play. so that it can then feed information back to Microsoft and let them know what you're doing and what you like, and all kinds of wild and crazy things, and then they're going to take over your brain.
Correct.
They already have. It's fine.
It's good.
They already have.
And as a matter of fact, I'm also an AI. I've not even been here the whole time.
It's amazing what you can do with AI. It's amazing.
This whole episode
It's all been written
has been AI.
None of us
Like,
are actually here.
it's not actually the Quadrio of Dads here. It's just
We
4
got lazy.
computers.
Yeah, we just
That's so sad.
Chat
I was
GPT
so
and do your
excited
thing.
for all of us to be here.
It's the only way. it's
It's the only way it could have happened.
is AI.
Yeah.
Thank you, AI.
We got Grok, Gemini, Chat GPT, and Copilot.
Daggone, why do I have to be Gemini?
So sorry.
Oh
So
man. But anyone else? Any other news that we needed that's relevant that anyone else wants to bring to the table?
I read something today about how they didn't identify who, but 3 major publishers are considering rescheduling their launch of their games based on whenever Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out.
Yeah, that's
Oh
smart.
wow.
So they're
That's-
just
yeah.
waiting to hear when
Oh, my
that comes out so
gosh.
that they can.
You're not going to pull anyone away from
Yeah.
it, I'm sure. So.
Yeah. No,
basically,
absolutely
they all
not.
said the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they suck all the money out of the market, and
So when is that coming out?
allegedly end of 2025. But
Okay.
but they've also said they could be delayed into 2026. So
Gotcha. So yeah, I would imagine that they would delay until 2026 because with the Switch 2 launch, it's going to be hard. I mean, that's 2 different. I guess you're talking about 2 different audiences, really,
Yeah.
when it comes to Switch
Yeah.
2 and Grand Theft Auto 6.
there's also a rumor that it could cost up to $100.
How is Grand Theft Auto still a thing? Like, how do people still care about those
I agree.
games? I don't know. Anyway,
I liked Vice City and nothing after. I didn't get the new stuff, the modern stuff.
Yeah,
I'm too
probably-
white to be a gangsta, so I
Yeah.
just like, no, that really... Yeah.
Unfortunately, with some experiences with the parts of YouTube that everyone should avoid, I do know that Grand Theft Auto 5 mods were a huge part of its popularity.
Yes, the
Online
mods and
and
everything
all
like
that
that.
stuff.
Yes,
That
Yeah,
for
they're,
sure.
they're
That makes a lot
killing
of
it with
sense.
the online
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
It's been a
For
huge
sure.
hit for them. So
Well,
I've got something in my world. Like I'm big
Yeah.
into arcades, which we
Yes.
don't really talk about, because why would you? But there is a new game from Raw Thrills. So my favorite people. If you guys ever played any cruising games, Cruising Blast,
Oh, yeah,
Cruising
yeah,
America,
yeah.
Cruising the World,
love them.
it's those guys. They have the IP for Top Gun. So there is a new Top Gun game coming out, and it looks
Sweet.
incredible. So
are you guys going to have
You
it?
sit in a cockpit. You've got 4 screens. The seat moves. It's really cool.
Dude.
We'll see if we get it, but it's being announced at all the conventions. There's one that just ended in Vegas, and so it should be coming to an arcade near you. So
That's
it's a new
awesome.
Top
That's
Gun
fun.
game.
That's awesome.
It looks amazing. I want to try it. I can't
Yeah,
wait till
that
it
sounds
comes
that sounds like a really cool thing.
If you
I
guys are
found
fans
out.
of Top Gun.
So, speaking of like flight simulator type stuff, I found out that my father-in-law is actually he was a pilot for a long time, and I found out that my father-in-law is actually getting a flight simulator, like an actual
Like a
like
full
full
one.
Very
decked
nice.
out like
Nice.
flight
Very
simulator
nice.
thing. But anyway, anything else for the good of the whole, gentlemen?
Big news
Yeah.
next week or next month. It's
Yes,
huge.
our
Huge.
next news episode you won't want to
Yeah.
miss because there's
Huge.
going to be so much Nintendo news and we're going to be so excited about it. So, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast. We appreciate your ears. Do all the things like share, subscribe, follow,
Check out the blog drama.
check out the blog.
Yes.
Yes.
Leave a comment.
Leave some
Josh is
comments.
wrong.
We'll
Leave a
put
comment.
up.
Talk
to
back
say.
to you.
Yeah, we will absolutely talk back to you.
We're not
We
even
try to-
celebrities.
we
Yeah.
try to respond to everything that gets sent our way. So if you listen to this, thanks, and we would appreciate anything that you can throw our way. And we will catch you on the next episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast.
Wait, Emily, put the right thing in there.